a good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Hey Gifted Crafters, welcome back for another Saturday CrafterNoon. Thank you all for tuning in today. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host these weekly live sessions to just talk about all things crafting, from knitting, crocheting, sewing, quilting, any kind of embroidery, any kind of craft you can think of. We like to cover it here, talk about it, share tips, tricks, and ideas. So this is the perfect place to, if you have maybe a little Etsy shop, or maybe you have a little craft show coming up, or you're just looking for a quick gift, this is the perfect place to get some ideas. So I hope you are all having a fantastic weekend. So I am again from sunny South Florida, and I can tell you that today we are going to be in the 80s. So I'm really excited about that. I think everyone kind of around the area is just a little bit happy to have a little sunshine back into the state. So thank you again for tuning in. I see we have a couple of friends that I see out there. People are chatting away, and I see a couple of new people. So welcome. Thank you guys for joining. Let me jump into the chat and see who we have out there and say hello to some of our friends. I see Batita Feek. Hey, how are you? I see Carmen McDowell. Carmen, that's my mom's name. Thanks for joining. I see Crafting with Robin, Donna Phillips. I see Jackie Hallman, Jenny Owens, L.A. Garrity, welcome. And I see Rebecca Copeland and Robin's Quilt Basket. Thank you again for tuning in. I see all you guys are just having fun in the chat, and that really makes me happy because, you know, we had a Facebook post that was posted this week, and it was one crafter that got connected with another crafter, and they're sharing things together. And you know, I don't want to see their names and stuff. If you're part of the group, you know what I'm talking about. But it really touched my heart to know that everyone is starting to connect in this group, and we're really helping each other out, whether it's just, you know, advice on how to move on from a sticky situation where maybe you did something incorrectly or it's not working out for you and you're just looking to figure out how to do something. You know, our group just jumps right in and helps. You know, even if, you know, hey, I've got some supplies that I'm really not using, and I see you're posting and you're really loving it, and so she shipped over some of her stuff over to her, and you know, I was really blown away. So Donna says one of the GiftsHQ members was kind enough to send me 3 of her kits from the 2024 Christmas box. Thank you, Jenky Hallman of Dover, Pennsylvania. Yes, and that's exactly the one that I was kind of thinking about. You know, I was really, really touched by that. I'm so happy because that's really what I want in this group. That's what we're all about, just helping each other out. You know, if you've got stuff you're not using and you see you can give it to someone else, why not, right? We're all here together, we're all crafters, and we have a fantastic time. And I really love how we've been able to bond with each other. So, you know, if you're new, you're gonna love it here. So thank you again, guys. I really appreciate you guys sharing that. That was really wonderful, and I really loved to see that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we've got a few things to cover here. There's a few announcements that I want to make, but before I get to that, you know, I'm the holiday girl, so let me give you the holidays that we've got that just may not be on your calendar, right? So we have National Freedom Day. Okay, awesome. This one's an important one. Change your password day. Really important, guys. Security is super important, especially with all the scammers and stuff that are out there. Please be really careful with your passwords. Keep them in check. Change them every once in a while, because I know it's a pain and we really don't want to change our passwords, but it is really important to do so because it does kind of minimize you being a target for them trying to figure your passwords out and cracking into your items, whether they be bank accounts or, you know, whatever it is. You know, it's really important. So, you know, keep a little notebook or something on the side, you know, some place where you can kind of keep those important items tucked away. But that was the holiday for today. It is also Decorating with Candy Day. So I thought that was pretty cool because we're now in February, guys. And can you believe it? We're almost at Valentine's Day. We're only 14 days away, guys. And the holidays are going to kick in and we're going to be rolling right with it. So yeah, this is crazy. So Carmen says, I have to tell you, thank you so much for the video on the knitting machine. I learned because of you. You explained it all so well. Oh, thank you, Carmen. That really is nice. Thank you so much. Well, I'm so happy that you did enjoy that video, and I hope you enjoy some of all our other videos and the Saturday CrafterNoon, because we just love it here. And sometimes I do knitting, sometimes I do, you know, sewing. I mean, we do all kinds of stuff. So hope you can pick up some more tips from us and we can learn from you, because I'm sure you've got a couple of things that you're pretty good at, and I'm sure that everyone would love for you to share your knowledge with us. So thank you again. Okay, let's see, what else do I have in here for announcements? Okay, we went through our holidays, so a couple of things going on if you guys are in the area. So we've got the Original Sewing and Quilting Expo that is coming up pretty soon. So this is going to be in Lakeland, Florida, and it is on March 13th, 14th, and 15th. And you know, this one is a good one. It's a lot of fun. I've attended last year, and they've got tons and tons of classes and vendors. I mean, this is a pretty large event. They really do have a lot of things. So if you're going to be in the area, it is in Lakeland, Florida on March 13th, 14th, and 15th. This is a great event to attend. Now, you can go on their website and get some more information. You can even kind of put yourself on the list so that they will send you these little flyers in the mail. And it basically tells you all the information for the event. So it's got all the classes that you can sign up for listed on here for the 3 days. And there's all kinds of information in terms, even on the website. It tells you who the teachers are, what the classes are about, what vendors are going to be in the event. So a lot of information there, and you can even scan right here. There's a QR code for directions, parking, hotel information, reservation links, and all that stuff. You even got a phone number on here, but it's sewingexpo.com is the website. So yeah. Oh, Rebecca, you went last year in Lakeland. You had a really good time. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So I probably passed right by you. I don't know, but if you're going again this year, I would love to meet up with anyone who is going to be attending the event on the Saturday, because I definitely want to be there on Saturday. So this is a fun event that I am going to be attending. My sister's, she's trying to see if she can go. I'm not sure if she's going to make it or not, but you know, if we crafters can get together, we'd love it. Donna says that Nancy is an expert at teaching crafts of all kinds. I love this channel, covers lots of different crafts. Oh, thank you, Donna. That's really sweet. Hi, Smith. I also just got started on my Centro 48 pen, and your tutorials have truly helped me. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Yay, that makes me happy. I'm so glad. And there's so many more that I want to make. So many more videos on Centro, Addie, and sewing, quilting. And today we've got a fun one, and I'll show you that in just a bit. So that is one of the events that's coming up. You know, I like to kind of go to these events, take the classes, and that's where I get more knowledge, and then I can bring it to you guys, right? Because this is an awesome place to get information and share all kinds of things, and even see all the new little tools and gadgets that are out there that it's going to help us. Oh, Donna, a favorite item to make with the smaller Addy is the nylon scrubby. I use it daily. Yes, that's a good one. Awesome. Okay, so there's one more event. Now, this one is a little bit more smaller of an event than the Lakeland, Florida, but on March the 8th and 9th, they're going to have a South Florida Quilt Expo. And you can just kind of Google that, South Florida Quilt Expo. It's in South Florida. It's only a 2-day event, and it seems like it's a little smaller, so not as big of an event as the one here in Lakeland. But I'm going to be attending that one just to kind of see. I've never been to that one before, and I'd like to kind of see all the little quilt shops that are going to show up for that. So I'm excited about both events, and, you know, I'll, of course, take some pictures, I'll do some videos, so I'll bring you along with me. Wouldn't that be fun? So I hope you guys enjoy, you know, the little tour that we'll be taking for both events, just the Lakeland one and the South Florida ones. Won't that be fun? Okay, so let's see. I've got a couple other things that I want to cover here today. And if you guys have kind of seen my other events, you know that I normally started off with the trivia. Well, we decided in 2025 that we were going to do some different things. So we started playing the GiftsHQ Scramble giveaway, and we're going to be doing it again today. And there's all kinds of other types of games that we're going to do, but we decided we're going to do this one more time, and then we just may switch it up again. And you never know what the giveaway is going to be, right? So it could be something, you know, small and cute, or, you know, it could be something else. I can't really say. So there's a couple things that I have to let you know about the giveaway. So again, we're going to be playing the GiftsHQ Scramble. That's the name of our game. Now, to participate, you have to be a subscriber. So if you didn't hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps me out a lot. And please, it's just only for US only. Sorry, guys, I can't do international on this. Now, you have to be present for the live, and you guys are here, so you're good. But if you guys are watching the replay, sorry, guys, try to catch us out on that live. And let's see. First thing I want you guys to do is I want you to type in, if you want to play and be a participant on the giveaway, go ahead and type in hashtag GiftsHQ, lowercase and all together. So just hashtag GiftsHQ. That will make you eligible to be a possible participant on our giveaway. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be collecting all of the names that have put in hashtag GiftsHQ into the chat. And what we'll be doing is spinning the wheel and selecting a participant, and that participant is going to be the one to play the game and possibly win the prize. So wouldn't that be fun? So what are we going to do, and how does this game work? So let me get you started on that. So there's going to be 3 words that you will have to unscramble. So we will go ahead with our little tutorial today. You're going to hear a little tone, and then on the tone, once you hear this little tone, you're going to see some letters appear on the screen. And so when you see those letters, you may want to just kind of jot them down. And what you're going to need to do is kind of unscramble that and figure out what the word is. So the first word, we're going to be kind of giving to you soon. And let me just scramble those up and show those to you right now. Okay, so this is your first word that you will need to unscramble. So go ahead and jot those letters down, and you'll have to figure out what that magic word is. So I don't know, I could give a little hint here and there, and I'll be kind of talking throughout this hour so you can hear some of the little hints that I'll be able to give you. Let's see, what else? Is there anything else that I missed here? Okay, So again, there's going to be 3 words that you'll have to scramble. It'll be kind of sporadic throughout the hour. We'll put them on the screen, and then at the end, we'll do the giveaway. So won't that be fun? I hope you guys really enjoy it. Hey, Chris Smith, thanks for joining. I Smith, thanks for joining. And don't forget, go ahead and do hashtag GiftsHQ. Type it into the chat. Oh, but Tita, I think you misspelled it. You put GiftsGQ. Go ahead and put GiftsHQ into the chat. So just retype that in and we'll be picking it up. No problem. Okay, so I think we can get started. So last week, we talked about a pinwheel weaving, and we weaved some fabric to do a pinwheel. I did post the picture on our Facebook group of the finished product, and you kind of see it there on the thumbnail. So if you missed that one, that was a lot of fun. Really, really nice how you can kind of weave the fabrics and put things together to create items. There is a free template on that video, so you can go ahead and rewatch the video and download the template to get you started on this little project. It was a lot of fun, and there's so many things that you can make with it. So give it a try. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I see, okay, so on the unscrambled words, do not give the words yet. I see people typing words into the chat. I gave you the first word, unscrambled. You have to unscramble them, sorry. But I'm going to be selecting the participant who's going to be saying what those words are. So don't type them into the chat just yet. Hold off until the end. Just write it down on a little scrap piece of paper. Keep it to yourself, because you want to, hopefully, if we select you as a participant, you're going to want to know what those 3 words are. And, you know, sometimes if that person doesn't have the answers correctly, we may pick another participant. So hold off. Don't put them in the chat just yet. But that's okay. We got 2 more words to go. Alrighty, so if you are interested in knowing more about the rules, don't forget they're in the description for you guys as well. Alrighty, so let's get started, because I wanted to do a couple of things today. And this is a project that is really simple to do. I didn't really use much materials. It was just a little bit of Heat and Bond light. And also I used this one I just got from the Dollar Tree. You know, you can use any type of light fusible interfacing. This is from the Dollar Tree for these types of projects. This interface is just fine. And this is just stuff that I picked up at the Dollar Tree store. This one, probably at your local Walmart craft store. You know, things like that. You can find Heat and Bond, no issues. This is just Heat and Bond light. Just make sure that when you're looking at Heat and Bond, there is another type of Heat and Bond that's heavier than that. You don't need that. You just need the Heat and Bond light. So these are the 2 items that you'll need. And I just have here a bunch of scrap fabric. So I've got all kinds of scrap fabrics left over from all kinds of different projects that I have done. And so, you know, I liked some of the colors on here, and I thought, you know, it'd be really nice to use some of this stuff up. So let me just put together a small little project. So it's exactly what I did. And I'm going to just show you, and you're going to actually help me finish decorating it. Sounds like fun, right? Okay, so I just prepped a couple of pieces here of scraps. So these are just some pieces of scraps that I have, and they are already attached with the Heat and Bond light. So if you're wondering, well, how do I do the Heat and Bond light? Guys, it's super, super easy. All you have to do, once you have your package, you're going to see that when you open up Heat and Bond light, you're going to see one side that's kind of scratchy, has like some glue dots on the top, and the other side is just paper. So what I did is I took the fabric, and I took the back of the fabric and I put it on top of the Heat and Bond light. You just hit it with an iron, and then once you do that, it will adhere to your fabric. Now, what you can do also from there is you're going to be able to peel the paper off. It's going to leave this little shiny residue on here, and that will allow this fabric to then adhere to another fabric, and you can easily do that with an iron. So super easy to do. I went ahead and prepped a couple of pieces just because I wanted to save some time for us to be able to do the giveaway. So I have this here, and I'm gonna bring in something here that I just really love. So I have a couple of mats here. This is the Brother ScanNCut scanning mat, as well as the fabric mat. Now this one looks like a big hot mess because I've just been using it so much. And I did have a little issue and a little no-no that I knew better and I wasn't really thinking, and I did, and I'll explain that to you in just a second. But let me bring these two over. Let me see if I can scoot some other stuff out of the way. So this is my Brother ScanNCut. Hide this under here. And this is the SDX 230 Di. So it's not the latest and greatest, but it is pretty good. So I'm going to kind of move this here so you guys can see it. And this is just a cutting machine. It's similar to a Cricut, if you guys have a Cricut. But what I really like about the Brother ScanNCut is that you can scan things, and it just makes such a difference. And there's like a whole other world of crafts that you can make with the ScanNCut. That was pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And I do have a Cricut, and I love my Cricut, but man, I can tell you this ScanNCut has really changed the game. So let me just show you what you can do with this here. I'm going to grab, this is the fabric mat. Okay, it's got this little protective paper on top. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. And let me explain to you what I did, which is a big no-no, guys. Do not do this, okay? So one of the things that I did is I was working with the scraps of fabric, and it has the heat and bond paper on it. And I wasn't thinking, normally when I cut it, I like to do fabric facing down. And I didn't do that. I actually flipped it and I put my heat and bond like this. I went ahead and grabbed my brayer and I was doing it. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is supposed to be going the other way. And why do you ask? Well, because that heat and bond paper, that backing that's back here that I referred to earlier, it will stick to your mat. And so it ended up sticking on my mat, and I had a hell of a time getting it off. So one thing to note, if you're using your fabric mats and you have a piece of fabric with heat and bond paper on it, do not put it this way thinking that the paper will come right off. It will not. It will stick to the mat. And I still actually have pieces of paper in there that I need to get off. So I do have to do a really good cleaning on this mat. And then once I do, what I'm going to be using is a product that kind of helps to bring the stickiness back to it. It's called Zig two-way glue. And it works really well with this mat. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with that, but I didn't want to go ahead and clean it just yet because I had so many other things that I had to get done. So it's gonna stay, it's still sticky. It has this little issues here in the middle where the paper was, but I got a big piece of it out, so I was okay with that. But yeah, I was not very happy. Yes. Oh, yes, Jenny, I was not happy. Yeah. Let's see. Jackie says if you use a low-tack mat, you can put the heat and bond down without a problem. Well, this one is the fabric mat. You can put the heat and bond, no problem, yeah, but this paper backing, if you don't take the paper backing off, you know, you got to be careful with that. I mean, this one's the fabric. The low tack, maybe you can it probably won't stick as much. But my issue was then I took my brayer. and I really got the paper to stick to the mat, so it was really hard for me to pull it. Where did I get the Zig two-way glue? Amazon. I got it from Amazon, Faker McFake. You can get it. Let me show it to you again so you can see. It's called Zig. I think if you just type in Zig two-way glue, you should be able to see it. Might have it on my Amazon shop, not sure, but yeah, just check Amazon. I think I got it as like a 3-pack, and it was pretty relatively low price, but yeah, saves your mat, allows you to clean it, and then you can just put that and it will stick like if you just got the mat. So really, really nice. Yes, Marge, use Totally Awesome from the dollar store to clean up your mat. Definitely, I definitely will need to do that. I kind of ran out, so I do need to make a little trip to the dollar store, but you can see it is pretty dirty. And you can see some of the paper here, I think. You guys see that? Horrible. I was just not having a good week, I can tell you. It was just not my week. I don't know. Everything I tried to do was just not working for me. So, I don't know. Alrighty, so we turned on our little baby here. Let's go ahead and touch her so she wakes up. Wakey, wakey. Here we are. We've got a pattern. We're going to select pattern here. And there's a couple of things that you can do. So here I've got some pieces here all set up. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the paper off. You can leave it on. You can take it off either way. But then I'm going to go ahead and set this down. I'm going to put it about here. Okay, and then let me see, where did I put that brayer? Here it is. Go ahead. I love to use the brayer to make sure that it's going to stay in place. Really important. Okay, now one other thing, and this is what I really love the ScanNCut for. I'm going to scan the mat because, yeah, I want to cut out a specific pattern on here, but what I like about the ScanNCut that the Cricut doesn't have is I'm able to scan the mat to kind of see where my fabric is. So if you're really into like saving pieces of fabric, you know, what's really nice is the machine basically says, okay, let me take a picture and see where your fabric is, and then you can move the pattern to where you need it to be to make sure that the pattern, the fabric that you have covers that pattern that you want to cut, which is really cool. So I'm going to go ahead, let's see here. I'm going to go into shapes and I'm going to look up a shape here. Let's see here. You know what? It's Valentine's. They have several different hearts. I'm going to cut a different one. I'm going to cut this heart right here. Now, this tells me that it's 3.94 inches, and I can go ahead and make it bigger, make it smaller, but I think that's a pretty good size, so I'm going to leave that where it is. So go ahead and set that. And then there's going to be some options here. You're going to see the first button that says add. That means I can add more shapes, more patterns, more things to the design that I'm about to cut. Don't need to do that. I can edit it so I can make it bigger, smaller. We can flip it, mirror it, do all kinds of things. And I'm going to go ahead and go with this middle button here. That's basically a scan. And it's telling me scan the mat and show as a background, which is exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to slip this in here. You're going to want to do the arrow here is pointing towards the machine. That's how you want to position your mat in order to feed it correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to press the second button right here. That's going to feed the mat. So I'll go ahead and do that. It's going to slowly grab it, and then it's going to eventually pull it in, pull it out, and take that little picture once I hit start. So let's do that. So there it goes. Now it's just taking that picture of all the things that you have in the mat, and it really allows you to save fabric because you can position what you want to cut out wherever you need it to be on the mat, and you can do the best position possible so that you can save yourself some fabric, right? So I think that's a really nice feature. So you can see here, I've got the little picture, and you can see the dark little place right here. That's the actual fabric. So awesome. That's exactly what I want. And you can see the pattern that I had selected earlier, which is the heart, is way over here. So I'm going to just kind of click on it and drag it. And I'm going to make sure that it's right on top of my fabric. So we're going to have a nice clean cut. And I'm just going to move this just a little bit here. It's kind of hard for me to see from this angle. So I'm going to move this over. I think I got it. Can't really tell with the glare, but hopefully you guys don't have a glare and you can see that a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll click OK. And then it's going to ask me, please select, what do you want to do with me? Because there's a few options, right? So I'll go ahead and click on that. You can cut, you can draw, you can emboss, you can foil, and there's many other options as well. But we're going to go ahead and cut. And it's processing, and let it know when you are ready to start. So you just hit start. It's going to go ahead and feed it. Now I'm using the auto rotary blade, and I can tell you, there are other blades, but I really love this blade for fabric. One thing to note though, it does take a little bit longer to cut things than if you were to just use the ordinary blade. Only because it's trying to decide what is the best way to cut the design that you have selected. And so what it does is it really tries to figure that out, and you can definitely, you know, use this. I just saw 1 Minute Tips was asking, you don't need to connect this to the computer. No, and that's another great plus about the Brother ScanNCut. So with a Cricut machine, you do need to have your laptop connected to it, but the Brother ScanNCut is standalone. I don't need a computer. I can actually send files wirelessly if you've got the, like, say, the Luminaire machine, that you can go ahead and send your designs to the Brother Canvas, and you can also send it to your Luminaire machine if you're working on some type of a pattern that you maybe want to change into an embroidery design. So that's a lot of fun. Isn't that cool? Thinking that you can take something that's really like an SVG file and send it, and then transfer that file and make it an embroidery file, and then send that to your embroidery machine and have it just go ahead and cut that, and you can embroider that. Wouldn't that be nice? So this is really great for applique. It's really great for a lot of other projects that you can make. Now it's going ahead and it is cutting away. It's saying about 2 minutes on it. So we'll see what it does. It's cutting away. It's not the same heart that I picked earlier, which was a lot quicker. This one had some little bit of an intricate detail. So we'll see how it does. So all kinds of things that you can cut with this. They also include some blocks. So if you're into quilting, you can cut out your blocks with this. Like, it will cut the pieces for you, so you don't have to cut those little 2.5-inch squares or half square triangles or things like that. It will cut them for you, and then all you have to do is sew them. So that's pretty cool that it does that for you. And it also has this scanning mat. Let me try to pull this out in here. Now, there's 2 scanning mats that you can get. This scanning mat is the smaller one, and let me see if this one's a 12 by 12 inch scanning mat. And you can scan all types of patterns, so paper patterns that maybe you have from some type of a project that you purchased before. You can take those paper patterns and you can scan them to your ScanNCut and then have it cut the pieces out for you, so you don't have to cut them yourself manually. Isn't that a time saver? Love that. Okay, I guess it is done here. Move this over to the side. It says that it finished. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go ahead and unload the mat. And let me just scoot this over a little bit here And then let's do the fun part. Oh, the rotary blade allows it to roll through the cutting process versus the regular blade. Yes, that's dragging it through the cut. Exactly. And I really love that the rotary blade does that. It really makes the pieces so much more accurate. And, you know, if you really think about it, like it is really trying to figure out the best precision for that, because if you've got the regular blade, like she said, it's just dragging across, right? The rotary blade is like using your rotary cutter, and it's making those really intricate curves and little areas where it gets sometimes a little hard to cut. So I think it really makes a big difference when you use your rotary cut. But like I said, it does take a little bit longer because the machine is thinking as it goes, what is the best way to cut this particular design? So Crafting with Robin says, I have a Cricut and I need to get better at using them. This machine seems easier to use. Yeah, you know, I have a Cricut too, and I love my Cricut too. There are a lot of things that I do with my Cricut, but I can tell you the ScanNCut I got not too long ago, and you know, it's been amazing. And really the scanning feature is just the selling point. Like I really love that scanning feature because you can do so many things with patterns, quilting, and changing things from SVGs to embroidery files and just having the embroidery do it. The applique, you don't have to cut out the applique. You know how you're embroidering something, you put it in the machine and you have to cut your applique out and then put it back on the machine. Well, wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to sit there and cut it out and it was exactly the way you needed it to be? I mean, really, really awesome. I really love it. All right, I think a second word is coming around here, and you should see it on the screen. So I hope you guys are getting good at unscrambling these words, because you've got that second one is out, and you're going to be figuring out what that is. So let's take a look at what it cut here. I'm going to go ahead and start to lift right here. You guys can see that. We're going to go ahead and lift this out. I'm going to lift the excess. Okay, so there you can see. Now I'm going to grab a little tool that comes with the machine. It's a little spatula. And I like to kind of use the little spatula to pick up especially fabric and from the machine, because fabric can stretch and you don't want to warp your pieces. So what I like to do is just kind of get it underneath here and just kind of go around here and just kind of lift it off without pulling it, because you can pull it, but I don't want the fabric to stretch and warp. So I like to kind of just use the spatula to make sure that I'm getting my pieces out here. There we go. And look at that, guys. Is that an intricate cut or what? Really neat. Really, really neat. And there's so many things that you can do this, because, you know, this has heat and bond light on the back, so you can put this to anything. Really, really neat. Okay, and the other thing you can do is you can do letters, you can do numbers, you can do all kinds of designs for all kinds of different holidays and all kinds of things. So since we're running a little short on time, I'm going to just show you here, and let me move this over a little bit. I'm going to show you what I did here. So here I just have 2 pieces of fabric. Got some threads going on back here. And I just took some leftover fabric that I had here, and all I did was then I took some white fabric. Now I did use a little bit of interface on the white fabric because I knew that I wanted to kind of put this material here behind it, and I didn't want you to see the polka dots from behind the white fabric. It is not an expensive fabric. It's a relatively cheap fabric that I got like from the Dollar Tree and stuff. So they're not like quality fabrics, but really they don't need to be. You can make so many designs and cute little gifts and things, or things that's just useful for you to use around the house, right? It doesn't have to be really expensive. So I just took some really cheap fabric, kind of put that together, I sewed the fusible interface. I went ahead and attached this fusible to the white fabric just to give it a little bit of depth. And I also wanted the fabric that was behind it not to show through. So yeah, is this machine just used for fabric? Absolutely not, Carmen. Absolutely not. You can cut paper, you can cut basswood. Now the thickness is limited on what you could cut, just like it is on the Cricut machine, but you can cut wood, paper, fabric, foam, vinyl. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's pretty much anything that the Cricut can cut, the ScanNCut can cut also. The only huge difference between the two is that the Brother ScanNCut, you can scan items. So when I talk about scanning, I'm trying to see if I find something off that I can show you. I mean, when I'm talking about scanning things, you can scan things like those applique paper patterns that you may buy. So, you know, if you're in a quilt shop and you see that they have a quilt that you really like and it's applique and it has a paper pattern, you normally would, you know, attach it to heat and bond and cut fabric pieces out, and you have to trace it along with the picture that they gave you, and you have to go through all those steps. Well, with this, you can just put the paper pattern on your scanning mat and scan it into the Brother machine, and then have the Brother machine cut it for you, right? And so now you have your applique pieces, and you don't have to kind of fussy cut and try to get those little pieces, because sometimes the pieces are really intricate and hard to kind of cut out. And some people have issues with their hands, so it's hard for them to cut the pieces out as well. So really, this machine really does a lot in terms of especially applique. It saves a lot of time, and it really does help when you're trying to cut those pattern pieces. So great machine, especially for that. So what I ended up doing is I took the two pieces of fabric and I sewed them together. Now, you see this little border here? I went ahead and cut this with my ScanNCut too. So my ScanNCut made this little border. So this is just another design, and all I did was take a strip right here. And again, I've got some heat and bond on it. And then I put this on the mat just like I did for the heart. And I went ahead and I put it into the machine, and I had it cut this design out for me. And I thought it was really cute because it gives it just a little bit of that extra little look. So now think about when you are kind of doing a quilt, and maybe you want to have that little scallop edge. Like I had it turning inside, but you can just as well have it go to the outside, right? Wouldn't that be cute? So there's different things that you could use it for, and it's already cut it out for me. Now, again, you use the heat and bond on it, and you can attach it to stuff. You don't have to put heat and bond on it. You can just cut fabric itself. If you want to sew it, you know, you could do that as well. So Carmen says, I'm going to be nice to the kids and hubby and hint around for Mother's Day, birthday gift, or maybe even Valentine's Day. Yes, Carmen, I kind of did the same thing. That's how I got it. Great tip. It works. Yeah, I love this little machine. You know, I have had so much fun with it. I've got to do some more tutorials on this to really show you guys what this machine can do. You know, it takes a little bit in just setting it up, but really this is awesome. It's an awesome machine. I really love it. I think you're going to love it too. So, alrighty. So what else do I do? So when I went ahead and I sewed these two together, I did right size together, and I went ahead and sewed it, and I put this in between and kind of flipped it over because I wanted it to kind of be like this. And then what I did after I sewed all the way around, of course, I left my little opening, turned it inside out, and then closed my little opening. And so I have this little blank canvas with a cute little polka dots on the back. And I've got my little scallop edges that I was able to cut with my ScanNCut. And not only did we just cut this little cute heart here, I did just a regular heart that looks like this. So now we've got two little hearts. And then I told you you can do letters. So I went ahead and I cut these out. And there you go. I mean, look at that, guys. Isn't that cute? So cute. Really quick little gift if you want to gift it to someone, or if you're looking to sell some stuff. You know, cute little placemats, cute little mug rugs. I mean, really adorable stuff that you can make with this, because the patterns are just endless. There's so many patterns. And whether you have a CrafterNoon or not, you can use canvas. And canvas is very similar to the Cricut machine, where you have Cricut Design Space. Well, they have canvas. Now, canvas is absolutely free. Whether you have a CrafterNoon or not, you can use canvas. Anyone can use canvas. And it's awesome because it's just like the Cricut, where you're able to kind of design and put things together, and there's shapes, and there's so many things you can do. You can get all kinds of patterns. So if you want, you can, if you don't have the CrafterNoon yet, you can go ahead and go into Canvas, and you can just play around with just the designs that you can make. I mean, just in that, it's a lot of fun. So something that you can do in the meantime. Alrighty, so we've got our little place setting here, and then we've got the heat and bond on the back of the hearts, and then I also put some heat and bond on the back of the letters. So now all I've got to do is grab my little iron, and we can just iron them down. So what do you guys think? You know, should I kind of just play around with these hearts, do them side by side? I can move them wherever I want. I can even just print out some more letters if you want to put a name going across. You know, there's so many things, little messages. You know, some people, what they've done is those, you know, those little conversation hearts, candy thingies. Well, you can do that, and then just do, I would pick a different fabric so it would stand out a little bit more, and then just put little messages on the heart itself. And then you can take this and you can just, it has heat and bond on it, so get a piece of cardstock and you can make a pretty little card with some fabric on it. And you can have a conversation heart with some messages on there as well. Wouldn't that be cute? So, you know, tons and tons of stuff that you can do. It's really, really cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, because I see we've got about 10 minutes left. And while you guys see the third word that's going to come up, I'm going to grab my iron so we can kind of heat these up and put these letters down permanently. Let me grab my mini iron. So I've got my little mini iron here. And I've got a little makeshift ironing board that I did quite a while back. So let me go ahead and plug this in. And you guys have the third word on the screen, guys. So go ahead and unscramble that word. And then we're going to be getting to the giveaway really soon. So I see you guys are also talking about the driving on the little Expo. So yeah, it's drive depending where you're coming from, right? But I can tell you guys, I mean, I had a blast last year. I think it was totally worth it. It was really a lot of fun, and I did pick up a lot of good tips and saw some pretty good vendors. I mean, you can just gain so much information just from that. Jenny says she loves that song too. Gee, I wonder what song you're talking about. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I saw your name and instantly that police song popped in my head. Okay. All right. So we've got this. Again, it has some heat and bond on here. So I'm going to just kind of set them down to where I want them to be. Now, what I could do, let me just move this out for a second. I can kind of winging this, but if you really want it centered, you know, you always just fold it in half. You know, you can grab, I think the iron is somewhat hot, so see if I can get a little bit of a crease here so I know where my center point is. Yep, that's enough for me to have a nice little line here. So I can line up my letters. I think I'm going to put them right here in the middle. What do you guys think? Should I leave it here in the middle? And then we've got the little hearts. We're going to do 2 different hearts. I think that would be cute. What do you guys think of that? Should I move this around? Oh. You guys talking about the song. I see Roxanne saying it's catchy. Well, I hope you guys like it. God, Roxanne, we have a lot of songs on our 2 little CDs there. We really loved it, and I hope you guys really like listening to the tunes while you're crafting away, right? Okay, so I think this is where my pieces are going to stay. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with the iron. And notice that I am not taking my ironing and moving it around, right? You're picking up your iron and you're pressing down on it. Because you first want to make sure that it adheres to the fabric before you start moving that iron around. I'm going to go ahead and do a little letter. And I'll do the second heart. Did it shift on me here? Let's see, it looks like it moved just a tad. There we go. I'm going to scoot this over. There we go. And here's a little view. Okay. And it is down. Got this piece to... There you go. See how easy that was? I mean, I love this Heat and Bond light. It's so nice. Now I can move this around and it's stuck on that fabric. We got a cute little placemat now, right? And you can give this as a little gift. This little placemat, little mug rug. It's not as big of a placemat, but I didn't want to make it too big. I thought this was just the perfect size. So cute little projects that you can do with this. You know, there's really, really a lot of fun on this. All right, so it's 12:55 and I think we better get to the giveaway. Let me just clear this up here. Let me show you one more thing on here, because when you're done with your project, you can just hit the home button and it brings you right back. It says, do you want to cancel that? Yeah, we've already done, we printed it, but there's tons of other patterns and things that you can do on here. So if I press pattern, you have folders and subfolders. So when you first go into it, you know, you see all the different designs, but there's even more. When you press on them, even more things come up. So there's tons and tons and tons of stuff that you can do. Here's where I got the little border, and you can see here there's a couple of ones that you have here. You've got that scallop one. That's the one that I used. And there's so many more. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. Like I said, it's really a lot of fun. Let me just show you one last thing here. See if I can find it. All the squares, ovals, triangles. Oh, another option that's on here is when you are cutting, let's say you're wanting to make a quilt, and let's say you're cutting squares or half square triangles and things like that. The machine has the ability to draw your 1/4 inch seam allowance onto your fabric. So not only will it cut it for you, but you'll also have a drawn seam allowance on your specific square or whatever it is you're cutting. So you're able to do 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch. You know, you can put how wide you want your seam allowance to be, and it'll draw it on there. So when you bring it to your sewing machine, all you have to do is follow the line. And that's really, really nice, really great. Okay, so little hint on the prize that we're going to be giving today. So here's a little hint. If you guys don't know what it is, if you haven't figured out what is today's prize, here's a little hint for you. It's coming up, and I don't know, it sounds familiar. so here's a little hint if you haven't figured it out. This is one of my favorite songs, and it's a part of our GiftsHQ Volume 2 CD. So here's a little hint for you. So while that's playing, I'm going to put this over to the side.
A love-hate relationship with my seam ripper. No more crooked seams, no wonky zippers. Right tool for the right job, it's heavenly. Teaches me patience, that's what I need. It's the unsung hero.
Alrighty.
It's reliable, dependable, and knows what to do. Love or hate it, it makes me swear and sing, but in the end, it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, so I think that you guys got the little hint on what the giveaway is, so maybe we can get right to that. So again, if you haven't already, type in hashtags GiftsHQ in the chat. Just go ahead and put it in if you haven't put it in yet, to see if you can be picked as a participant for the giveaway. So hashtag GiftsHQ, all lowercase letters, all together. And then I think we are ready. Everyone's saying they love their song. Awesome. Okay. All right. I think, are we ready? Are we ready for the giveaway now? I think we're good. I think everybody's typed it in. So now let's see who is going to be the participant for today. So let's get our little wheel up. Give us a minute. While that's going up, guys, you know, I ordered from Creative Grids. I got it from Amazon. I ordered from Creative Grids a little marking tool. Really, really cool. Wasn't too happy when I received it, though. Can you guess why? I don't know if you guys could see that. But when they packed it in the box, they kind of bent it so that it would fit in the box. And so it's a little warped. So I wasn't really happy with that. And this was the longer one. I actually ordered two of them. I got the smaller one, and then I got the longer one for my larger blocks. And this is just a marking tool that you use to kind of help cut blocks and mark them. And I wasn't too happy that I got this one, and it was pretty warped, and I'm trying to see if I unwarp it. So what I am doing, and please let me know if there's a better way, I kind of just put this down, and I put some heavy cups and things to kind of hold it down, and I'm going to keep it like that all night to see if it'll kind of straighten itself. But yeah, I wasn't too happy that they kind of really squished this ruler into this little box, and I'm surprised it didn't break. But yeah, it did come out all warped now, so gotta be careful with the things you order, you know? Yeah, Bernardino, this is really bent, right? I mean, I was really not happy with that. I'm surprised it hasn't snapped. You know, I really thought it was gonna be in pieces. But no, they kind of just bent it and then kind of squished it into the box, and then, send it to me like that. So yeah, I wasn't too happy. Yeah, Annette, send it back. Okay, so here's the prize. This is what we're going to be playing for. So this is a little sewing seam ripper tool set. It's got a couple of little things that are pretty useful for your craft room. It's got some snips. Of course, we've got some seam rippers on there. A little pair of scissors, some replacement blades, you know. So really handy stuff. I like to try to make the giveaway things that you're going to really use in your craft room. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So now let's pick a participant and see who's going to be playing today to see if they can win that seam ripper. So let's spin the wheel. We've got quite a number of participants on here. So let's see who we get today. Who's going to be playing? And it looks like it is Leslie B. Leslie B. So Leslie, if you're out there and you're on the chat, what you'll need to do is type in the 3 unscrambled words that we have been flashing throughout the hour. And if you get all 3 words correct, then you'll be getting the seam ripper. So we're going to give that person just 1 minute to go ahead and type it into the chat. And if they don't, we'll be picking someone else. But hopefully you are still here. So let's see if they type it into the chat. But while they do that, yeah, guys, getting back to this creative grids thing, you know, this was really disappointing. This first ruler, and I don't know why they separated the two, but you could see here, look at this difference. Can you see the difference here? Let me put something dark so you can see that. I mean, I was really disappointed. Really disappointed. I guess it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, it's totally not straight on here. It's got this huge gap right here. Okay, so let's see. Leslie. Oh, Leslie, you typed in table, stitch, and applique, and that is correct, Leslie. Table, stitch, and applique are the 3 unscrambled words. Congratulations. Awesome. Thank you for playing. And Leslie, what I'm going to need you to do is go ahead and send me an email with your address on where you would like us to ship the prize to you. So just go ahead and send us an email at GiftsHQ. You can see the email address down below. Go ahead and send us an email so we know where to ship it to. But it's a lot of fun. Thank you guys for playing. And, you know, I hope you guys really enjoyed the games and all the information that I bring to you. I'm going to be researching some more and doing some more videos on ScanNCut, as well as Centro, Addy, some more sewing, some quilting. We're going to cover all kinds of things. So I hope you guys really enjoy the hour that you spent with me. I really love spending it with you guys. I really love you guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Nancy with GiftsHQ makes crafting videos, creating with passion and a love for what she sews. Crochet, quilting, and sewing, crafting is what she knows. Making smiles one craft at a time. Your talent will grow with every stitch and every thread she weaves her art. Her hands create something special straight from the heart. And as the colors come alive, the joy spreads near and far.